Adjectives and adverbs. What's the difference between them in Russian? And what potential problems may they cause to you, Russian learners? We'll find out today in another Love Grammatory episode at ARusPro. I'm Anastasia, your Russian tutor. Let's achieve it! Both adjectives and adverbs are description words, and the difference between them lies in what they describe. Adjectives describe pronouns and nouns, people, animals, things, concepts, places. And adverbs describe verbs, actions, or the surrounding conditions, the atmosphere in general. Let's take a look at some examples. The first two examples. Вода холодная. The water is cold. Here it's an adjective in the feminine form. It has two letters as the ending. When we will look at adverb, we have just one letter here, O. But let's take a look at these examples. So, вода холодная. Here we describe the noun вода, water. Next one that you can say to your girlfriend if you have a Russian-speaking girlfriend. У меня самая красивая и хорошая девушка на свете. So I have the most beautiful and good girl in the world. So here again we describe the noun girl, девушка. That is why we use adjectives красивая и хорошая. Again, they have two letters as their ending. Now, let's take a look at adverbs. First, let's take a look at the third group of examples. Наташа красиво рисует. So, Natasha draws beautifully. She makes beautiful drawings. She's a good artist. So, here we describe an action, a verb, to draw, to paint. She draws, рисует. Красиво is an adverb, and adverbs always have the letter O in the ending. So, adjectives, they will change by gender, we will come back to that later, but adverbs never change their ending, never change their form. It's always the letter O, and in many adjectives, it's unstressed, so it's not emphasized. That is why we reduce it to A. Красиво, красиво. Now, the next example. Майкл хорошо говорит по-русски. Again, we are describing an action, a verb, говорит. And that is why we use the adverb хорошо. Well, here the ending is stressed. That is why we pronounce it strongly, хорошо. And these two are unstressed, so we reduce them. Let's compare. Хорошо is an adverb, хорошая is an adjective, feminine form. So adverbs describe verbs, and also adverbs describe atmosphere or conditions around you. For example, сегодня холодно. It's cold today. Сегодня холодно. Here we are not describing a noun. We describe just the conditions around us. And let's compare. Вода холодная. That's an adjective describing a noun. Холодно is an adverb describing conditions. The problem is that in English, it's very often just one word for adjectives and adverbs. So, cold in English can be an adjective or an adverb. But in Russian, we always make this distinction. We always differentiate between adjectives and adverbs. Also, we can just say холодно. So we can use an adverb as one sentence, basically. One word, one sentence. When saying it's cold or I'm cold. When you are cold, you can say брr, холодно. So, that's an adverb. Next, как красиво. How beautiful. When you see, for example, a beautiful landscape and you are impressed, you want to express your emotions, you say как красиво. There is no noun in this sentence. That is why we describe just the conditions and we use an adverb. Sometimes in English, you also differentiate it, right? You can say beautifully, so this suffix li turns an adjective into an adverb. Or you can use just a different word, right? It was good, хорошая, now it's хорошо, well. Good, well. Good is an adjective, well is an adverb. But as I said before, most of the times in English, one word means both an adjective and an adverb. So that is the problem. In Russian, it's always different. And now let's look at how adjectives turn or how they change by gender. Because, of course, it depends on the noun. We have 3 genders of nouns in Russian, and we have plural forms, and adjectives always agree with nouns in their forms. So let's look. Adjectives change by gender and number. We have 4 forms: masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. Красивый цветок. Красивая девушка. Красивое платье. Красивые глаза. So take a look at the endings. Each ending of the adjective consists of 2 letters. And let's take a look at these letters. So these are hard vowels, hard indicating vowels. So adjective for beautiful, красивый, belongs to the hard variant of the ending. We also have adjectives that belong to the soft variant of the ending. And in the soft variant, the second to last letter is different. So here we have U, here we have I. A, ya, o, ye. And again, U, I. So the last letter, the very last letter, is the same in both variants, but the second to last letter is different, hard and soft. Let's take a look at soft, at the soft adjective here, last. Последний герой. Последняя серия. Последнее видео. Последние новости. Well, here the adjective последнее means last or latest, so the most recent news. So, again, hard and soft. And how do you know whether an adjective is hard or soft? You look the adjective up in the dictionary and you look at the masculine form, because in the dictionary you will always find the masculine form first. So this is like the basic form. And you look at the ending. If it has I, it's hard. If it has I, it's soft. So you found the masculine form and then you will change it by genders using the corresponding vowels for hard or soft. Now, of course, not all adjectives belong to strictly to hard or strictly to soft endings. So we have some exceptions. However, this topic is very, very big, so I'm not going to go into details on it now. Probably I will make another lesson, but if you want to really master your usage of Russian adjectives, I recommend you to book some lessons at our online Russian language school, ARusPro, where our most patient tutors in the world will explain you everything in detail, and they will also practice it with you, so this information will sink in. So book some lessons, watch my new videos, give me a thumbs up if it's helpful, and let's achieve Russian proficiency together. See you soon!